We were toward the end of high school and we're preparing to branch out into the world. And so it was an opportunity for us to celebrate that transition. And I think especially being Black in America, we have created so many of our own traditions because so many of the coming of age rites of passages were lost, through the trauma that we experienced in involuntarily coming to this place in bondage, right? And so this was our way of creating something special for ourselves and really being able to celebrate this transition from childhood to adulthood.
I guess I didn't really fully understand the magnitude of it and the importance of it, but it is a rites of passage. It's like you're coming out, and it kind of just drove home the representation of not just you and your family, but also the community and the expectation that is put upon you for life.
Well, at the last ball, I made sure that my son and daughter-in-law came to the ball because my hope is that they'll join Jack and Jill, and my grandson and now my granddaughter will also be in the ball. So I really feel that it's very important for our children who participate in Jack and Jill to have a ball. It's a culminating activity and it is very rewarding.
Younger children, the 3 to the 5-year-olds that come to the ball, and they're in awe themselves, and I want to do that one day. So we're giving them something to look forward to because they are the next future for us.
I want the other mothers to feel the magic like I felt the magic. I don't want just that for me and for my friends. I want the other Jack and Jill moms to come now and in the future to feel the magic of the Jack and Jill ball. It's their turn. It's so special that we really should keep it going and share this.
I love to see beautiful traditions continue. And this is a beautiful tradition in many respects for the parents, but most especially for our children. It gives them their dues. And yes, please continue.
It's a celebration. It's a time to celebrate our children, to celebrate what they've done, to celebrate who they are, to celebrate who we are and who we have been and who will continue to be.
Showcasing the ball and showcasing the young people is critical, even in 2021. The sad reality is, I think there's a large part of Pittsburgh that only sees us on the news or on the front page of the paper. And when they see us, then we've done something bad. We're in handcuffs, we're being arrested. So to see that other side of African-American life, for a lot of Pittsburgh, it's eye-opening because they don't know that we exist. They don't realize that not only we exist, we flourish, we color in the lines in society, and we do well. So for many of them, it is an eye-opener, which is why I think being able to showcase them every opportunity we get is a positive thing.
To compete as a city that has a thriving Black middle class, we need to continue to show that we are here, yes, that we are doing work, that we yes, are busy, we are talented, and we're here to stay.
If you look at racial terms of what's happening in America now, it makes our kids know that they are valued and that they can do whatever they want to do, and that we as Black parents will be behind them in this white world.
Especially with other stories you hear about, Pittsburgh is the worst place in America for Black women to live and things like that. And so I think it is important and it should continue. And I'm thrilled that it is continuing and that the chair this year is a dear friend of mine. And I'm just so excited to support her in her efforts to continue this tradition that my mom started many, many years ago. I don't want to count the number of years, but yeah, that my mom started.
We still have Black Lives Matter. There is still lots of racism that the kids are still having to fight with. Jack and Jill is a safe place for our kids to gather and develop together and have other kids who are experiencing similar problems. I think the ball is a time that we can uplift and show these bright and shining stars of our children. I think it's a way of financially giving back to community and supporting organizations that are working within the community.
As long as there's Jack and Jill, rites of passage and encouraging our children to be all that they can be are important. And I think that's what the ball does. So I would always like to see it go forward in a current form or a modern form that's appropriate for that year.
And I think it's like anything else. It's going to change. 40 years from now, it's not going to look like the ball that we were in or the ball that you started, but it is part of our legacy. This is part of who we are. This is part of who Jack and Jill is.
Traditions bind us across the years and the generations, and they provide meaning outside of our day-to-day lives. And so I think it's important when the grandeur of a ball happens that it's a time to remind ourselves of the significance of life and the meaning and place of traditions in our life. And so that's just something that I think we should never leave behind and should always be there to remind the next generation of why that's important.
There's nothing like having your kids walk out there in this very unfamiliar environment and to be so warmly received for the way they carry themselves, to hear the recitation of their accomplishments and their goals and aspirations. It is an audience of your Black community cheering you on and celebrating your accomplishments. And I just think that is something that should continue for as long as possible. Our kids need that.
Ladies and gentlemen, and to all our Jills and Jacks at home, welcome to the 20th Biennial Presentation Ball. I am Kelly McCormick, and I am the current president of the powerful Pittsburgh chapter of Jack and Jill of America Incorporated. On behalf of our entire chapter, I am so pleased to be able to bring to you greetings both in person and to our online audience. Tonight, we are representing 8 phenomenal, amazing young adults who over the past 2 years have been waiting patiently for this night. Aku, William, Malcolm, Langston, Maya, Kaleo, Alana, and Tyler. This is finally your night. And you know what? Hashtag, it's about time. Congratulations to all of our ball families and their extended families on the accomplishments of our presentees. And for 6 of them, their graduation. Lastly, and most importantly, congratulations to our ball co-chairs, Kim Moses and Alexis Steele. These 2 women have been steadfast while putting their heart and soul into this event. I am so excited, probably not as excited as they are, that this event has finally come to fruition for them as well as for our young adults. As the evening progresses, you will hear how the presentation ball is an important part of our chapter's legacy. So tonight, we bring you a celebration of legacy, purpose, and resilience, which appropriately aligns with how we've all lived our lives over the past 2 years. This presentation ball is also our signature fundraiser, with the net proceeds being donated to Jeremiah's Place and to our National Jack and Jill of America Foundation. You will hear more about these noteworthy organizations during tonight's program. We will now have the Eastern Regional Director, Melinda Alexis Hayes, bring greetings. And then immediately following, we will hear from our awesome ball co-chairs, Kim Moses and Alexis Steele. Enjoy your evening. And to those online, your viewing experience. Thank you.
Greetings. I'm Melinda Alexis Hayes, Jack and Jill of America Incorporated Eastern Regional Director, and I bring warm greetings on behalf of the entire Eastern Regional Executive Board to President Bridget Cofield, her entire executive committee, the families of the Pittsburgh chapter, and most importantly, to the 6 graduating seniors and 2 juniors who are the reason we have gathered today. Our honorees have completed their journey of leadership training, academic achievement, and extracurricular activities. They are not only prepared for a bright future, but are ready to be an example of success for those who will look to them for inspiration. This year's seniors and juniors were led along this journey by the fabulous family-oriented Pittsburgh chapter. I can speak to how magnificent this chapter is because I've had the pleasure of working with our region's Community Service Chair, Alexis Steele, and President Bridget Cofield, who serves on the region's Strategic Planning Committee. The feeling of love and support that I have felt from your chapter, I know was poured into each honoree, making them feel confident and ready to take on the world. Congratulations, teens, on achieving your goals. Congratulations to all who have contributed to making this moment possible for such a deserving group of young leaders. Thank you, Co-Chair Kimberly Moses, for making this day possible. Please enjoy the rest of today's event, which will benefit Jack and Jill Foundation and Jeremiah's Place. I am looking forward to the next presentation ball, led by President-elect Kimberly McCormick and her beautiful executive board. Have a beautiful and blessed day.
Who'd have thought that how you'd live your life and how adventurous you'd be was shaped before you could even tie your shoes? The first 5 years are forever. That's why PNC is devoting $250 million and 10 more years to helping families turn everyday moments into learning opportunities. PNC, grow up great.
Good evening. My name is Kim Moses, and I am one of the co-chairs for this 20th Biennial Anniversary Ball. Alexis and I started this journey in the summer of 2019 with all intention of having a grand event during the weekend of Thanksgiving in 2020, not only to celebrate these accomplished teens, but also to celebrate what has been a 40-year tradition in the Pittsburgh chapter of Jack and Jill. Well, we all know what happened, but through it all, we still wanted to celebrate our children and give them their rites of passage. They deserve it. So through a pandemic, 2 postponements, and much uncertainty, we made it to this evening, and we did it for them. I want to take a few moments to recognize some people and organizations who really came through for us and enabled us to have a successful event this evening. First, starting with my co-chair, Alexis, who is such a sweetheart. She is the heart and soul of our Pittsburgh chapter, and I just adore her. We have spent the last 2 years planning, commiserating, laughing, crying, and I couldn't have a better co-chair than Alexis. So thank you. Thank you for the participation, the fellowship, and the friendship. To our chapter executive committee in total, but I do have to give a couple shout outs to our president, Kelly McCormick, who didn't have to be asked to help us. She sent text messages and said, what do you need? And once we gave it to Kelly, we knew that it was taken care of, and so that was very much appreciated. To Della Hollins, all you need to know about that is we've exchanged many 4:30 a.m. emails about checks and what's been collected and what hasn't. And so we do appreciate Della and her efforts. To Crystal Turner, who has done, her and her committee have done in 1.5 months what would normally take about 6 to 8 months to do, and that's to create our souvenir journal. And so we're very grateful for your efforts and your commitment. To Erica Grant, who also, she's our treasurer, but she doubles as our webmaster, and she's made a lot of updates to our webpage, and so we're grateful for that. And to our chapter membership committee, who delivered baskets to our membership so that as you're viewing this online, you're able to enjoy a lovely basket of food and drink, and so we're very appreciative of your efforts as well. To the Omni William Penn Hotel, we have a long-standing relationship with the hotel, and they know this event probably better than we do. And that was the reason why they stood with us through 2 postponements, and quite frankly, they're making no money off of this tonight. We didn't have a minimum to meet. They really just wanted to be a good partner with us and allow us to have this event. They know it's a fundraiser, and so we're just very appreciative of that, because in a COVID era where everybody's trying to make money, I felt like that was a huge gift to us, so thank you. And thank you to our sponsors. We had 4 gold sponsors, 7 or 8 silver sponsors, and I can't even count how many bronze sponsors, all who really just chipped in and really made this a success for us. We have an awesome group of vendors who made things happen in very short order as well. Ryan Mitchell, who's our choreographer, Linda Scahill, who's our photographer, Redwood Media Group, who's responsible for our online video, Gittes Flowers, who beautified the room this evening, Studio Hayes, whose wonderful work you'll get to see momentarily about the anniversary, and Phoenix Events with Adrian Holmes, who really has helped us out with planning the event.
Achievement has big plans. Achievement plays well with others. Achievement loves getting its hands dirty. Achievement is ready for the world. That's why PNC created Grow Up Great, our 10-year, $100 million program committed to early education and helping achievement start young. PNC, for the achiever in us all.
To our sponsors, to our Jack and Jill community, to our Jack and Jill family and friends, good evening. My name is Alexis James Stills, and as a past president of the Pittsburgh chapter and as a current chair of the Jack and Jill Eastern Region Community Service Committee, I count it an honor and a privilege to stand before you today as a co-chair of the 20th biennial anniversary of the Pittsburgh chapter presentation ball. As a mother's organization, Jack and Jill of America Incorporated is dedicated to nurturing the mental, physical, emotional, intellectual, and social well-being of children. The beauty of Jack and Jill is that not only do we strive to offer the very best to our children, but we also want the very best for all children and for all families. That is why biennially, the Pittsburgh chapter of Jack and Jill not only raises funds for the Jack and Jill Foundation, but we also select a local nonprofit organization whose mission aligns with that of our organization. The beneficiary of the 2021 Jack and Jill Pittsburgh chapter presentation ball is Jeremiah's Place. Jeremiah's Place is Pittsburgh's only crisis nursery center. Jeremiah's Place provides emergency child care services free of charge to families who are experiencing homelessness, fleeing domestic abuse situations, attending job interviews, dealing with hospitalizations. Jeremiah's Place also offers care to families who are simply seeking temporary respite care. Jeremiah's Place works hard to protect children, strengthen families, and transform communities. In staying true to their mission, during the height of the pandemic, Jeremiah's Place pivoted to become a food distribution center for local families facing food insecurity. In support of this initiative, our 2021 presentees provided Jeremiah's Place with over 2,000 pounds of non-perishable food items to benefit over 125 families. Also, at the height of the pandemic, on behalf of Jeremiah's Place, our ball teams participated in the virtual Highmark Walk and raised a significant amount of money for Jeremiah's Place. To Jordan Schornberger and the staff at Jeremiah's Place, thank you for all that you do for the families you serve. It has been a pleasure working with you for over the last 2 years. We look forward to continuing to support the meaningful work that you do. Through the support of our corporate sponsors and through the support of our Jack and Jill community, we, the Pittsburgh chapter, continue to make a significant, indelible impact on the lives of our brothers and sisters living in underserved communities. Now, let's hear from Jeremiah's Place directly. The video, please.
The last couple years, Jack and Jill has been very supportive of Jeremiah's Place, and we are incredibly thankful for that. 2020 was not an ideal year, to say the least. It has been very difficult for Jeremiah's Place, but also the families that we serve, the children that we serve, and the community around us. It has been a very hard year. But thanks to Jack and Jill, we've been able to support the families even deeper than we have been in the past. We're very thankful of the work that Jack and Jill has been able to do with us, and thank you so much for that. Since opening in 2014, Jeremiah's Place has served over 1,100 kids from 700 different families, and we, just this past month, surpassed 100,000 hours of crisis childcare here at Jeremiah's Place for all of Western Pennsylvania. The last 3 months have been our busiest months to date, and there's no sign of slowing down. Families right now need short-term emergency childcare, and thanks to your support, we are able to continue to do that free of charge, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I don't want to miss anything, but Jack and Jill has done so many different things for us. We are working with Daria to improve our book nook and get a mural on the wall and improve the furniture. We're now giving out library bags to every child who visits us with brand new books that are, diverse and appropriate for everything in a branded Jeremiah's Place tote bag. We have members of Jack and Jill have provided book drives for us, food drives. We had all of the youth come out and help us out at the storage unit to take inventory and organize all of those donations that we have. We're incredibly thankful for Kim and Alexis for putting on this ball and raising so much money for us and empowering your group to do this good work for Jeremiah's Place. Last year, the Highmark Walk, the Jack and Jill team raised over half of the funds that our entire Jeremiah's Place campaign raised. Jack and Jill did half of that, and it's incredible. And we are going to continue this relationship for many years to come. We've been incredibly blessed with these new relationships that we've built. And congratulations to all of the youth who are being presented tonight. I hope that you have many years of blessings ahead of you. Thank you to Kim and Alexis and Daria and the other ball moms and all the work that you have done to support Jeremiah's Place over the last couple of years. We look forward to continuing these relationships, and just thank you for your support over the last couple of years.
And now we will introduce our 2021 Grand Marshals for this grand event. I will start with Gretchen Givens-Jeanneret. Gretchen Givens-Jeanneret, PhD, is the Dean of the School of Education at Duquesne University and the Noble J. Dick Endowed Chair in Community Outreach. She is a qualitative researcher whose research centers educational stories that have been rendered invisible. Her scholarship intermingles traditional sociology of education, African American studies, and feminist studies with more progressive concepts of justice that examine agency, empowerment, and action. In teaching, Gretchen offers stories as a place for students to recast their individual stories to form a collective narrative that can be used as a catalyst for transformation. Her research and teaching suggest that reflective and interactive storytelling serve a function in uncovering and recovering our individual and collective stories so that we can be intentional in our efforts to dismantle systematic inequities. Her most recent publications include 5 Practices for Equity-Focused Leadership, a guide for building equity-focused schools and systems, co-authored with Sharon Rad, Mark Gooden, and George Theresis, and The American Dream for Students of Color, Barriers to Education Success, authored by Amy Olson. Dr. Jeanneret currently serves as president-elect of the American Education Studies Association, co-editor of Professional Education, and associate editor of the Oxford Encyclopedia of Race and Education. Locally, she serves on the board of SSB Bank, Alumni Theater Company, Catalyst Charter School, and Contemporary Craft. Dr. Jeanneret received her BA in English from Spelman College and her PhD in Social Foundations of Education from the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. She has been a mother member of Jack and Jill Incorporated, Pittsburgh chapter since 2005.
Also, as our Grand Marshal is Dr. Jeanneret's husband, William Jeanneret Jr., Esquire, or I call him Bill. So Bill serves as the Senior Vice Chancellor of the Office of Civic Engagement and External Relations at Duquesne University, where he oversees the university's Office of Community Engagement, its government affairs function, and the Office of Corporate and Foundation Relations. Prior to assuming this role, he served as president and chief executive officer of Urban Innovation 21, a unique entrepreneurship and community-based economic development focused public-private partnership. Jeanette is very active in the community, where he serves on several boards and advisory committees, including the Pittsburgh Cultural Trust, Carnegie Museum's Center of Life, Shadyside Academy, and the Business Advisory Council of the Federal Reserve Bank of Cleveland in the Pittsburgh chapter. A Pittsburgh native, Bill earned his Juris Doctorate degree from Emory University School of Law and is a Phi Beta Kappa magna cum laude graduate of Morehouse College. For several years, he practiced real estate and corporate law with an Atlanta, Georgia firm. He also serves as a consultant in many venues. Bill was presented in the 1989 Jack and Jill Incorporated Pittsburgh Chapter Presentation Ball. Ladies and gentlemen, I give to you Dr. and Mr. Jeanette.
I can't keep from smiling, right? I think part of it is because I haven't been out in a year. But what a difference a year makes. And I just want to give a quick thanks to God, right? Because when you look at where we were and where we are now, we're blessed, even though we're not where we want to be. Every time I come to the presentation ball, I get chills, because a little over 30 years ago, I had the opportunity to be presented with two people that are presenting their kids today, and that's Dina Clark and Brian Roberts. And I learned three things. And when I was in it, you know, I enjoyed it, but it took some time to really appreciate what this ball meant. And there were three things. One, appreciation for family. Families really sacrifice a lot to make this happen. And I didn't really appreciate that while the ball took place, but over time, I appreciated that. The second thing was friendship. I made some great friends, and I learned what it really was to be a good friend, but also to have good friends. And the last thing was service, right? And it brought tears to my eyes to hear the service that you guys presented. And hopefully that will be something that will be baked in your DNA so that you become a lifelong servant. But this is a time for parents to celebrate, but also for your children who are grown to celebrate. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Greetings, everyone. It is my honor and pleasure to be with you this evening to celebrate the 2021 Jack and Jill of America Incorporated Pittsburgh Chapter presentees. As a mother member of the Pittsburgh Chapter and the past co-chair, I want to say to the presentees, you look amazing tonight, and we are so very proud of you. The past 18 months have been extraordinary in ways that none of us could have predicted. Indeed, what you have experienced since last March will go down in history books, and future Jack and Jill presentees will ask you what it was like. They will ask you what it was like to embark upon your ball process, not knowing if there would even be a ball. Mother members like myself will reflect back on your process and tell stories of what happened this year. So let me be the first to start that story, to get the narrative rolling. so that all future members will know what you did and how resilient you and your mothers and your families have been throughout this process. Presentees, we are here tonight to celebrate you because you stayed the course and did not allow forces to deter you from what you aim to accomplish. Whether academically or for Jack and Jill, you proved to everyone, in particular yourself, that you could and would make it to the finish line despite the pandemic. You embraced the support of your community, allowing yourself to be vulnerable enough to lean on others. And by embracing your surrounding community, you strengthened yourself and served as models to those around you. You were accountable to your school and the community service work and did not allow the woes of the last year to dictate how you progressed towards your goals. During the health and racial justice pandemics, you asked difficult questions. You interrogated systems and worked towards change that will positively impact you, your future, and those of us who will work alongside you. So yes, presentees, you overcame obstacles that sometimes felt insurmountable. And for this reason, and all the ones I listed, I am filled with joy because I am here to witness in person you being presented. And so it is my honor to be MC here with Bill, who was presented so long ago. This guy's getting old. So to those of you joining us virtually, I say welcome. And to those of you who will watch the ball after it's recorded, I hope that you enjoy. It gives me great honor to welcome you all from wherever you're joining us. To the presentees, to the ball moms and their families and friends, we celebrate you for getting through this year, for figuring out how to have this amazing ball, and then working hard to recognize your children during these unprecedented years. It's my honor to call you all friends. And so, as Kim and Alexis shared, this ball is a very special event in our chapter, and tonight marks the 20th biennial anniversary of this chapter's ball. And so please turn your attention to the monitor to look at and view a special video to commemorate this special anniversary.
I was in the Jack and Jill Ball in 1982, which was my senior year in high school. I graduated from Ellis. At that time, African Americans were not allowed to participate in the Cinderella Ball, and I was really disappointed because I really wanted to be a debutante like my friends. So my mom saw my disappointment and she said, I'm going to organize something special for you, and I'm going to call it the Jack and Jill Presentation Ball. She was just trying to figure out a way to make me feel just as important as my friends in high school, and that really meant the world to me.
So we got a committee together and we worked on it, and we decided that we would have what would be called a presentation ball. We would present our young ladies and our young men to society, and we would make a big to-do of it.
My mother used to chair the AKA cotillion back in the 60s. So there were young girls like myself, I want to say I was 4 or 5, but they had like junior attendance. So I grew up in that atmosphere of a presentation ball, a cotillion, and then the AKA stopped having it. So my whole life, I never got to be in a ball. So then when I had a daughter, I wanted that for her. That was important to me. It was just like deeply embedded in me. The fact that my son got to be in it, that was just kind of like an added bonus. But I wanted that for my daughter.
I think you also have to remember the context of the times, right? So you're talking early 80s. Country was different. Pittsburgh was different. I had heard of balls before. All 3 of us went to private schools, and so mainly white private school kids that we knew about who were in balls, and none of us were in them. So I think it was very important for our parents and for the African American community in Pittsburgh to really demonstrate leadership around showing, listen, our kids are great. They're ready for the world. They're, for lack of a better description, just as great as these other kids.
There was that gap in Black Pittsburgh where there was a period of time where there was not that opportunity.
That's right.
Yeah, so there's a whole generation of us that didn't get that experience because it didn't exist. So when Jack and Jill started the ball, it was huge because there was a big gap in this city.
We got a lot of press from the white papers who said Jack and Jill breaks with tradition. And they went on, I think they loved it, and they gave us great press for what we were doing. If I could just read Hazel Garland's first paragraph from her column, I think it sums it up. It says, Pittsburgh's social scene never sparkled more brilliantly than it did during the recent Yule season. One of the highlights of what was an unusual gala, in spite of the economy, was an elegant presentation ball sponsored by the Pittsburgh chapter of Jack and Jill of America Incorporated. Approximately 250 formerly retired guests attended the Plush University Club and witnessed the introduction of 10 young men and women presented at a black tie affair.
Post-Gazette, I was in the newspaper in, I don't know, the society section or whatever it was, something like that. There was a picture of me trying on a tuxedo. You know, I had a lot of people, friends calling me, hey, man, was that you in the news? Yeah, you know how I roll, you know, talking trash.
There are so many good things about the ball. Number one, the money that is raised for the charities, the local charities, has a significant impact on their ability to do what they do.
The charity was chosen because that's what Jack and Jill did in those days. Not just Pittsburgh chapter, but all across the United States. But what more importance to young people than to give to an educational genre, which was need, because need was about the promoting of young children.
The other thing that I'm so proud about the ball is that we have a chance to showcase these incredible young people who have managed to defy all the limitations that maybe society puts in their pathway. And these young people are succeeding in high school at a level that surpasses all of society's stereotypical limitations.
So, but that first ball was just beautiful. It hit Pittsburgh with a storm. It was elegant. I remember I had a cousin who attended with his wife, and afterwards he said, I have never seen anything more beautiful than what happened tonight.
So I was in the 1984 ball, and I was fortunate enough to have two boys in the 2017-2019 ball. Although things were very different between my ball and the ball of my boys, you know, we didn't have a cell phone where you could just tell people, you know, oh, the rehearsal date has changed. We had to call every single house to, you know, let people know that rehearsal has changed. Our photographs were on film. They weren't digital. I mean, you know, so many different things between then and now, but there were some commonality, and that is the feeling of love and community in the room when you are presented and when you're a mother of a presentee. And at the time when I was in the ball, I didn't realize why it was important to my mother and my parents. I just thought, oh, you know, it's a big party, we'll have a lot of fun. And as a mother, I realized how important and how emotional it is, because your children are getting ready to leave and launch, and you want them to know that there's this community who values them, who loves them, that they are from a place of people who are doing their best in the world. So that's really something I didn't realize, honestly, until much later.
I'm a big believer that our kids need to be celebrated. Events like this inspire confidence. And I do personally believe there's a crisis of confidence in the Black community. I've always felt that. And I just interviewed Maxine Waters about something, and she kept saying, we are worthy, we are deserving. You know, people don't say those kinds of things to African-American kids. And what an event like this does is, without saying it directly, it's very clear. We are worthy, that we deserve the best, that our kids deserve to go to the best schools. That's not a message that our kids hear in society. They hear the opposite. And so that to me is really the biggest takeaway of the ball, and all of the traditions that go with it, is that it just gives you that level of, you deserve to be here. You can compete with the best. You are the best. And I think every African-American kid needs to hear that day in and day out.
Start feeling real bad, and she was immediately like, "You're going to the hospital." And I didn't fuss, which I usually do. I had no idea that I was having a heart attack.
On the way there to the UPMC McKeesport, we had green lights.
Because she was going to run them anyway, because I had told her to run them. Staff, they treated me like I was the MVP. If I would have waited, it would have been too late.
They had did everything they needed to do to save your life.
And to me, that's love. I did not choose to have a heart attack, but I did choose UPMC.
Great. I would ask that everyone holds their applause until the last person is presented. Aku Sebi Ankh Ma Black. Aku Sebi Black is the son of proud parents, Samuel W. Black and Dr. Etta L. Fields Black, and brother to Mary Black. Aku is looking forward to college and plans to declare a self-defined major in Africana Studies and Global and International Studies, then pursue a master's in public policy. He earned both a Dean's Scholarship at the College of Worcester and a Presidential Scholarship to Seton Hall University, and will matriculate to the College of Worcester in the fall. Aku is a graduate of the Kiski School in Salzburg, Pennsylvania. At Kiski, he was awarded the History Award for exemplary curiosity and performance in history, and played varsity football and wrestling, as well as junior varsity lacrosse and soccer. He was a member of the Culture Club, a student organization that fosters diversity and inclusion at Kiski. Aku further held meetings with the administration of Kiski to address diversity and inclusion and help facilitate its Black History Month programming. His community education has included studying West African drumming since he was 4 years old. He served as lead djembe and dundun drummer at Sankofa Village for the Arts, and snare drummer, Civil War Buffalo Soldier, reenactor for the 6th U.S. Colored Troops Drum and Fife Corps at Soldiers and Sailors Memorial Hall. As a drummer for Sankofa Village and Soldiers and Sailors Memorial Hall, Aku has traveled throughout the state and region performing in concert, parading for holiday and cultural events. In addition, Aku also held an internship in the InfoLink 100 Summer Computer Camp sponsored by 100 Black Men of Western Pennsylvania, Inc. He has also been an avid swimmer since about the age of 4, and he has worked as a certified lifeguard. Aku's most impactful community service was volunteering for Jeremiah's Place, helping to pack and organize the storage, and conducting the virtual food drive. His most memorable Jack and Jill experiences were the trip to Hershey Park, the golf outing, and the Copa New Year's party in New York. Above all, the new friends and relationships he has developed in Jack and Jill are developing lasting memories. He is also enjoying the Jack and Jill journey with his sister, Mary. Aku is most proud of his accomplishments in the cultural arts and earning college scholarships, which will allow him to complete his bachelor's degree debt-free. Presenting Aku Sebi Ankh Ma Black.
William Stafford Frazier, presented by Mr. Evan Frazier and Dr. Holly Hatcher Frazier. William Frazier is the son of Mr. Evan Frazier and Dr. Holly Hatcher Frazier. William is a senior at Central Catholic High School and is excited to graduate high school tomorrow night. Attending Central Catholic High School has provided William with many opportunities to discover personal interests and talents. From playing on the soccer and lacrosse teams freshman year to lettering on the varsity bowling team his junior year, William is proud to be a Central Viking. One of the greatest accomplishments was winning the bowling Whippeals and making it to states 2 years in a row. William's school pride made it easy for him to serve as a Viking ambassador and tour students and families around campus as he shared memories of his school experience. A high honor roll student, William incorporated his love for movies into his school schedule by joining the screenwriting club and taking a class in the cinema arts. Will even found time to discover a passion for ping pong as a member of Central's ping pong club. He has been known to never back down from a ping pong challenge and loves to use his special ping pong paddle to demonstrate his fierce serve. Will's interest in film started when he began managing his sister's YouTube account several years ago. He became fascinated with creating digital content and even assisted with a Best Buy ad digital campaign, MTV digital series, and most recently a photo campaign for a United Nations human rights initiative called Stand Up for Human Rights. Will has attended VidCon as a creator and is proud to have helped grow the YouTube channel to over 1 million followers as the primary editor of its videos. William is excited to continue his academic career at Chatham University and is honored to have Chapman University, and is honored to have been selected to study in their screenwriting program. He dreams of starting his own production company where he can create original stories with an authentic voice from a Black male perspective, as well as animation features. In addition to film, Will also has a strong interest in investing in business. William has made it a goal to be financially free at an early age by making wise investments. He started his own business called Will's Workouts, and he considers it one of his greatest accomplishments. As the founder and creator of Will's Workouts, William created his website, logo, business plan, and marketing strategies. He has learned a lot about fitness, business, and building a network of customers and ambassadors. William continues to learn a lot about business as an intern for Sunny Company Clothing. He is an avid reader of business books and loves to travel. One of Will's most memorable local community service projects was working with his dad on a project where they volunteered to rehab a home for a person in need. It was a hand-on experience where they remodeled a home using professional tools on a construction site. A life-changing service learning experience happened when William traveled to Belize and he volunteered at an orphanage. The trip connected him to lifelong friends, a mentor, a new culture, and adventures that included swimming with sharks, climbing waterfalls, and crawling through caves filled with bats. A favorite Jack and Jill experience was participating in a food drive for Jeremiah's Place and being part of the Ball Teen experience. William still shares his disappointment that he missed the epic Top Gold night with his fellow Ball Teens. Overall, Will really enjoyed participating in Jack and Jill teen activities with his sister and cousin. Attending COPA in New York City was one of his favorite teen activities and memories. William would like to thank God, his parents, and family and friends for making him into the person he is today, with a special shout out to his dogs, Olive, Henry, Sasha, and Tank, for being the best company when everyone is busy. Presenting William Stafford Frazier.
Tyler Jennings Hill. Tyler Jennings Hill is the son of Jason and Bibiana Steverson and is the older brother of Shelby Steverson. Tyler is a senior at Seton LaSalle Catholic High School, where he is a Seton ambassador acting as a liaison between the school staff and the student body. One of Tyler's strongest traits has always been his work ethic and determination. He admires the quote, "Never consider the possibility of failure. As long as you have determination, you will always be successful." Tyler has a passion for sports and found success in track and football. Through his hard work and determination, he gained leadership roles as a starter in both sports. As a National Nike PA Elite 7-on-7 player, along with a WPIAL 2019 honorable mention, a 2020 top 10 wide receiver mention, and a 2020 first team conference player. Tyler would love the opportunity to continue playing football in the next phase of his life and compete at a higher level. Tyler volunteers his time through community, school, church, and events sponsored by his Jack and Jill chapter. Tyler has served as a teen treasurer for his Jack and Jill chapter. He attended the 2018 Mother's Work Day Conference in Washington, D.C., representing the Pittsburgh chapter at Morning Roll Call, competing in the 2018 Cluster Oratorical Contest. His most memorable experience with Jack and Jill was attending COPA in New York City, along with participating in Gavel Club. Tyler's church affiliation is Full Life Deliverance Ministries and St. Mary on the Mount Catholic Church. Tyler's most proud of his 17 touchdowns has been accepted to the University of Akron, Central Michigan University, and Jackson State University. Tyler will be attending the University of Toledo this fall to study psychology. His goal is to obtain a degree and work for the Federal Board of Investigations as a behavioral analyst. Presenting Tyler Jennings Hill.
Malcolm Anthony Jordan, presented by Antoine and Pamela Jordan. Malcolm Anthony Jordan is the son of proud parents Antoine and Pamela Jordan. Malcolm is a senior at Quaker Valley High School and will attend Temple University in the fall. Malcolm was a member of both the soccer and varsity basketball teams. Described as a quiet but confident leader by his coaches, Malcolm was chosen to be captain of the basketball team this year. Malcolm developed a love of music in first grade and began playing the piano, but eventually he settled on percussion as his primary instrument. He studies privately and has been part of Quaker Valley's percussion ensemble for the last 4 years. Inspired by former members of the Jack and Jill teen group, Malcolm saw the need for a Black student union at his high school and decided to start one. In his first year as founder and president, Malcolm held bi-monthly meetings and organized a donation of essential items to the Swickley Community Center for Martin Luther King Day of Service. Then, during Black History Month, he worked with the principals of his district's elementary schools, and he and the other members went into the classrooms and read picture books by Black authors to the children. This program was so well received that the teachers want to make it an annual event. In the summer of 2020, George Floyd's tragic death inspired Malcolm and 2 other classmates to write a petition asking for diversity, equity, and inclusion training for Quaker Valley's teachers and to recognize the need for more Black teachers. The district responded and invited Malcolm to be a part of the team of administrators and teachers who will evaluate curriculum changes and eventually hire a person dedicated to equity and inclusion in all of Quaker Valley schools. In the 7 years that Malcolm has been a member of Jack and Jill, he enjoyed all of the creative programming, opportunities to volunteer, and serving as treasurer and the current teen president. Attending the 2018 Teen Conference and COPA are some of his fondest memories. Even though Malcolm is busy with maintaining high grades, extracurricular activities, and working a part-time job, he always finds time for his family. He takes pride in being the oldest of 4 children and can often be seen hanging out with his brother at the Swickley YMCA or shuttling his sisters to their various activities. They look up to him, and he has set an example for them by being a kind and dedicated student, athlete, and friend. Presenting Malcolm Anthony Jordan.
Langston Ellison Moses. Langston Ellison Moses is the youngest son of Darnell and Kim Moses. Langston is entering his senior year of high school at Central Catholic High School, where he excels in challenging curriculum that includes honors classes. His favorite courses this past year included pre-calculus and his business electives. Langston will be an academic visitor this summer at the University of Pittsburgh's Institute of Entrepreneurial Excellence. And after high school graduation, he intends on majoring in business and entrepreneurship at a 4-year college or university. Last summer, Langston started his own business providing basketball skills training. Due to COVID limitations and the need for safety, he launched a mobile business traveling to his clients' homes for sessions. Through his experience, Langston learned the skills of marketing, record keeping, and finance. But he also became a mentor to his younger clients, including several Jack and Jill members. This past spring, Langston established his own limited liability company, LM Enterprises LLC. Langston wants everyone to check out his ad in the Souvenir Journal. By starting his own business, doing what he is gifted in, Langston has a true appreciation for the sentiment, if you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life. While in Jack and Jill, Langston has served in several leadership roles, including president of the teen group in 2019. Under Langston's leadership, the team chapter expanded its social media footprint and is now followed by hundreds of Jack and Jill teens in chapters throughout the country. He also implemented paperless teen meetings, and his administration took responsibility for budgeting and tracking the teen member assessment. Langston was the teen parliamentarian and chaired the Teen Nominations Committee this most recent program year. Langston is courageous and is not afraid of a challenge. He exhibited this courage when he made the decision to change high schools after the 10th grade year. Being a student athlete, transferring after 10th grade subjected him to a long-standing WPIAL rule prohibiting him from participating in the playoff season immediately following his transfer. Langston could have just accepted the rule, but he's also a negotiator and believes that the answer will always be no if you don't ask. He appealed the WPIAL decision not once, but twice, and then testified in front of the WPIAL Board of Directors and answered their questions about his reasons for transfer. And the board, impressed with his answers, overturned its previous decisions and ruled in his favor. Speaking of athletics, Langston is an elite basketball player. He's been playing basketball since 3rd grade and has always played with the seriousness of a professional athlete. On the court, Langston is loud and proud, and his intensity is unmatched. He has an uncanny feel for the court. His athleticism, coupled with his basketball acumen, makes him a unique player in today's game. Langston has enjoyed local, state, and national recognition throughout his basketball career. While in middle school, he was included in the book, The Best Players of AAU. Played in a statewide championship game and received several MVP and student athlete awards. In high school, he's averaged 20 points, 12 rebounds, and 5 assists per game. As a sophomore, he was included in Pittsburgh Post-Gazette's Class 2A, Section 3, All-Team, and Cover 3 Athletics, First Team, All-Class 2A. In 2020, he was included in the top 50 players in Pennsylvania by both Prep Hoops and PA Hoops. Before his season-ending injury, Langston was dominating the Class 6A high school fall leagues. Langston has been blessed to play AAU basketball for elite teams, including Kevin Durant's AAU team in Washington, D.C. Several colleges and universities are showing interest in Langston, and he is looking forward to this current AAU season to continue showcasing his talents. Although academics and athletics are important, what's most important to Langston is the love and support of his family. Langston's favorite pastimes include family vacations, watching NBA with the entire family, and spending time with his brother and best friend, Thurgood. Langston knows without a doubt that he is loved and that his family is very proud of him. Presenting Langston Ellison Moses.
Maya Lynn Roberts, presented by Brian and Sherry Roberts. Maya Lynn Roberts, daughter of proud parents Brian and Sherry Roberts, is currently a junior at Winchester Thurston School. She is committed to academic and athletic excellence and has received many scholastic and athletic awards. While academics were always a priority, Maya explored dance, piano, quilting, tennis, gymnastics, and basketball in her early years and decided basketball would be her primary focus beyond academics. As a student, athlete, and most importantly, a person, Maya lives life from the perspective no challenge is unachievable with discipline and hard work. Maya is a flourishing student athlete, effectively handling Winchester Thurston's rigorous coursework that is preparing her for successful achievements in a college environment. She is a 4-year recipient of the Catalyst Foundation Scholarship, and beginning in elementary school, she has annually earned a 4.0 or higher GPA. Maya continuously exhibits a positive attitude despite what circumstances might warrant, and is a highly respected member of her school community. From an athletic perspective, Maya began playing basketball at Linden Elementary School, where she earned the 2015 Female Student Athlete of the Year Award and was instrumental in Linden's win in the 2014-2015 Pittsburgh Public Schools City League Championship. While attending Obama International Baccalaureate Academy Middle School, Maya was a prominent player responsible for their back-to-back City League championships. At Winchester Thurston, Maya started as a freshman on the varsity basketball team, placed 23rd in overall scoring among all WPIAL players in the 2019-2020 season, served as team captain since her sophomore year, and played a major role in the team reaching the 2020-2021 WPIAL playoff semifinals. Maya was chosen for the Post-Gazette first team all-section in her sophomore and junior year, and selected for the 2021 Cover 3 Athletic Fab 5 team, as well as the Post-Gazette 2020-2021 all-class team. To date, her overall average is 17.2 points per game. As a result of her basketball performance, Maya is currently being followed by several universities and colleges. In a collaborative effort with the Ellis School, Maya co-hosted one of Winchester Thurston's first dance fundraisers. Students collected canned goods for donation to a local food bank and contributed the event's proceeds, totaling in excess of $900, to a charity dedicated to aiding Black homeless men across America. She volunteered at the Greater Pittsburgh Community Food Bank with other Jack and Jill teens and assisted with distribution to food-insecure families. Maya's interest in activism began when she was a teaching assistant for the Black Minds Matter class at the Pittsburgh Public Schools Gifted Center. Upon arriving at Winchester Thurston, she made a decision to pursue her activism agenda by making a commitment to increase diversity and equity throughout the school community. To obtain this objective, Maya developed and executed diversity and allyship workshops for Winchester Thurston's faculty, administrators, and the Board of Trustees. She was elected president of the Black Student Union in her sophomore year and continues to serve in this capacity. Maya was selected to represent Winchester Thurston at the 4-day Student Diversity Leadership Conference held in Seattle, December 2019. During the COVID-19 pandemic, Maya conducted a successful virtual case study workshop for the entire school community that focused on analyzing police brutality cases and victims of wrongful convictions. She holds the distinction of being the first sophomore appointed as a member of Winchester Thurston's Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Executive Board. Despite a complex academic and basketball schedule, Maya decided to venture into the employment world. Positions held include part-time mentor in Winchester Thurston's Lower School after-school program, student coach for the Hidden Gems basketball program, and cashier server at Anthony's Ice Cream. This year, she had the opportunity to develop a signature ice cream flavor at Anthony's, Maya's Crazy Cookie, and it is a frequently ordered flavor, often sold out. Maya plans to attend a 4-year university or college and major in a medical-related field while playing basketball. Johns Hopkins University, University of Massachusetts in Dartmouth, and the University of Rochester are recruiting her to play basketball, and recently she garnered attention from a few Ivy League schools. For the remainder of her high school tenure, Maya will continue her efforts to build an impressive portfolio for the college application process and take advantage of every opportunity to establish a solid educational foundation on which to build her future. Presenting Maya Lynn Roberts.
Kaleo Antonio Rodriguez. Kaleo Antonio Rodriguez is the only son of Dina Clark and one of 4 grandsons of Dr. Harry D. Clark. Kaleo has a strong, positive personality, and people often share that he is a pleasure to be around. A proud graduate of Central Catholic High School in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Kaleo maintained high honors throughout his high school career, affording him membership in the National Honor Society. In addition, he was accepted into the school's Baginski Scholars Program. This program culminated by requiring each participant to present a senior thesis. Kaleo's more than 70-page senior thesis was presented on redlining and gentrification in Pittsburgh. He has served as the school's Viking ambassador a program that supported his role as a leader and role model for incoming students. Multiple years throughout his high school career, Kaleo volunteered as a counselor for the school's summer program, BAM, because academics matter. This unique program introduced prospective students to the many offerings Central Catholic had, from a variety of academics to all the fun times. He was a member of the school's robotics team and lettered on Central's varsity tennis team. As a teen, Kaleo served as parliamentarian in the Pittsburgh chapter of Jack and Jill of America, where he experienced many service project opportunities, including a recent food drive he especially enjoyed on behalf of the nonprofit Jeremiah's Place. His favorite and most memorable Jack and Jill experience was traveling with other Jack and Jill teens to New York City to attend the COPA event, where he enjoyed meeting teens from other chapters and witnessing their respective talent performances. Kaleo's second favorite Jack and Jill experience was attending the DC, Maryland Teen Conference. However, he's quite confident the Jack and Jill summer party held in the Martha's Vineyard could easily be a tie for his second favorite experience. Kaleo was also selected to participate in the Federal Bureau of Investigation Teen Academy. This highly selective program gave him the opportunity to learn from special agents about the investigative practices and tactics of the Bureau. During one of Kaleo's many visits to the Bureau, Kaleo met with several leaders, including the former United States Attorney David Hickton, who at Kaleo's request agreed to mentor Kaleo for several years. Kaleo was additionally selected to serve as a moderator for an event that was co-hosted with the FBI and WQED Multimedia, bringing together participants from across the region discussing the regional opioid crisis. Kaleo has long been interested in the culinary arts and actually participated in the Still Chef Junior Competition Cook-Off. That was the culmination of 11 weeks of culinary training. He also enjoys other activities such as football, skiing, and playing video games. Kaleo will be traveling to Washington, D.C., where he will attend the prestigious Howard University to pursue a bachelor's degree, where he intends to major in business marketing and a minor in psychology. Kaleo exhibits much pride in the manner in which he was able to successfully juggle his many high school responsibilities, including the completion of his most demanding assignment, his senior thesis. He is proud that he successfully met every challenge while maintaining a high honor roll status. Presenting Kaleo Antonio Rodriguez.
Alana Nicole Steels, presented by Alexis James Steels and Melvin Steels Jr. Alana Nicole Steels is the daughter of Alexis James Steels and Melvin Steels Jr., and the sister of Garrett Andrew Steels. Alana is blessed to come from a very loving family who is God-centered and family-focused. Alana's biggest supporters include her grandparents, Judge and Mrs. George James, and Dr. and Mrs. Melvin Steels, Sr. Alana's fondest childhood memories include her brother Drew, the Carr family, the Washington family, her cousin Brianna, and her god sister Dalen. Alana is a senior at the Ellis School, where she excels academically, is a triathlete, and is a member of the Ellis Black Student Union. In addition to playing soccer, basketball, and lacrosse, Alana's extracurricular activities include being a member of the Tech Challenge robotics team an active member of Girl Scout of America, and a 4-year student of the University of Pittsburgh's pre-college STEAM program, Investing Now. For her hard work and academic excellence, Alana was awarded Investing Now's Outstanding Student for Academic Achievement. Alana has attended the Ellis School since the age of 4, where she entered Ellis's inaugural pre-kindergarten class, taught by none other than Jack and Jill Mother member Amy Sledge. Alana is grateful for being an Ellis super lifer and is proud to have played 3 sports each year of high school, which earned her the distinguished title of 12-sport letterman, a title not held by many. While Alana has always excelled in math and science, she's also dedicated her time to becoming a better writer. She is an avid reader, enjoys writing poetry, and is often seen with a camera in her hand. From a very young age, Alana has been involved in STEAM-focused hand-on adventures, whether building an elaborate Lego structure, rewiring a light socket, or designing and sewing a fashionable outfit. She has the ability to use her sharp mind and skillful hands to create one-of-a-kind masterpieces and to solve almost any challenge. While Alana is destined to be an amazing engineer, she also has her eye on the fashion industry. Alana has a heart for helping others. Through both Jack and Jill and her own endeavors, she has rendered countless hours serving others. She remembers service activities at the Ronald McDonald's House, Jeremiah's Place, the Homewood House, and the Pittsburgh Food Bank. As Team Community Service Chair and Teen Foundation Chair, Alana had the honor of planning several team community service and fundraising activities. During the pandemic, she raised a significant amount of money for Jeremiah's Place through the virtual Highmark Walk. Alana considers serving as a weekly Sunday school assistant for preschool students at Allegheny Center Alliance to be her most impactful service role to date. Alana will attend Purdue University School of Engineering, where her concentration will be biomedical or civil engineering. Her career aspirations involve using her education and skills to build a better world, which includes inspiring other young ladies to pursue science and math-related activities and careers. Presenting Alana Nicole Steels. Now, could we have a round of applause for all of our presentees? They look amazing, don't they? Now, we have come upon the reason why I come to the ball. This is one of my favorite parts, where we get to see the parents and the presentees dance. And I will say this is my favorite part as long as I'm not actually participating as a mother in the ball. This is a long-held tradition where you see the presentees have the opportunity to dance with their parents. It's a very beautiful and emotional experience. I'm wondering, Bill, do you remember when you did the waltz 32 years ago?
A little bit.
I bet he doesn't remember how to do the dance, actually,
Absolutely
though,
not.
right?
Absolutely not.
So we're going to allow the presentees and their parents to come in, and we will happily sit down and enjoy the dance.
I had been to the balls, I participated, I knew how elegant and special they are. But when it was my turn to present my son, I felt the magic. I could not believe, I had no idea the joy you would feel. I was completely taken off guard So much so that my son said to me when we were doing our waltz, he said, "Mom, quit smiling so much. Pay attention. Come on, Mom, I know you know these steps." And I did know the steps. You know how much we rehearsed. I could have done that dance in my sleep. But here I was, so caught up in this wonderful, wonderful feeling. The only way I can really describe the joy was that it was magic.
Just remember April's picture was like on the cover of whatever that section of the Courier was, doing her curtsy, and just like, like that doesn't happen every day. You can't take it for granted until you realize like how special that was.
That's the other thing. I think my parents probably just bought a stack of newspapers and started giving them to them. I know at least there was like 15 of them in my house and being mailed to different family members around the country.
There was some magic about the evening. The excitement, the beauty of the William Penn Hotel with all of its dripping chandeliers, it has no equal.
To this day, my daughter will say to you, that was one of the best nights of my life. Literally, I don't think our feet ever touched the floor.
Dancing with the daughters, my husband was very, very nervous. And we had all the dance meetings that they had to go to the rehearsals, and he'd come home and we'd be practicing with him. And I think that was the one that, with my sons, I didn't really feel that nervous, but he was a real nervous wreck because he did not want to be the father messing up dancing with our daughter Regina.
I looked on the ball floor and Dwight's glasses had fogged up and Dwight was sweating. Now this is December, trying to get through that dance, and it was if he messed up, Stacy would never ever speak to him again, and that showed on his face.
The dancing, when I danced with my father, it was just effortless. I don't remember ever stressing about the steps or knowing what to do. With my sons, it was a completely different story. I was making mistakes up until the day before the ball. And I just remember the night of the ball and not making any mistakes and having my son Tanner smile at me at the end, knowing that he was very proud that I hadn't messed it up.
The pageantry of it, the whole night was just exciting, and the build up to it, the buying of the dress, the searching for the dress, even the practices that you thought didn't go well, but at least the choreographer thought they went well because the kids didn't act like they had any sense of what was going on, nor did they want to do the dances. So I thought it was a wonderful experience overall.
I wasn't sure about what it was going to be like, but I do remember going to the church in Homewood and practicing every Saturday. I do remember that.
I just remember wanting to not be, forced to spend my Sunday afternoon doing this, right? But I also really enjoyed it. My dad passed away when I was almost 12, and so I was presented by two of my uncles. One walked me in, the other one danced with me. So I got to choose the uncle who was the best dancer as the one who danced with me. And so he's almost 90 years old at this point. So it's a really fun memory of having every Sunday with him and being able to practice our dances together. So that was a lot of fun.
We still waltz. If JD walks into my house and we're both in a silly mood, we sing the song and we do the waltz in the kitchen. And it's just learning to do that together was really special. The practices are challenging. They don't always want to go. It's in the middle of anything, football, games. But in the end, he was really glad that he was well rehearsed and that he and I felt prepared. So that was really a special bonding moment that he looked forward to. He knew what it was going to be, having seen that at other balls, that was going to be his opportunity to dance with his mother, and we still reflect on it.
You never know when illness will strike. But imagine if the human body could naturally kill cancer. And brain surgery was so precise, it would leave no trace. You don't have to imagine it, because the treatments that will travel the world tomorrow are happening today at UPMC.
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting our 2021 presentees in their dance routine.
The blackness, keep on. Never say die, keep on. Blackness, keep on. Never say die, keep on. Blackness, never say die, never say die.
Another round of applause. Okay, so next up is our immediate past president of our teen group, Malcolm Jordan. He's going to come up and say just a few words of thank you. And then after Malcolm, we'll hear again from our co-chair, Alexis Steels. And then we'll be closing the evening and taking a brief interlude before we have dinner. Malcolm.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming. My name is Malcolm Jordan. I'm the current president of the teen group at Pittsburgh chapter of Jack and Jill. Thank you for coming tonight for our presentation ball. I hope you enjoyed watching myself and my fellow presentees. I hope you enjoy the evening and enjoy the food. Thank you.
Out of all of the things that we've done over the last 2 years to put on this event, getting through these final remarks will be the most difficult task of all. This has been a true labor of love. We absolutely love the teens who have been presented here tonight, and we did not want to pass up the opportunity to recognize and celebrate all that they represent and all that they've accomplished, a labor of love. We absolutely love our Pittsburgh community, and we did not want to pass up the opportunity to raise money to support the endeavors of Jeremiah's Place and the Jack and Jill Foundation, a labor of love. We truly love and appreciate all that Jack and Jill Pittsburgh chapter represents, and we did not want to pass up the opportunity to celebrate the legacy of the Pittsburgh chapter ball. Thank you to the 2021 presentees and their families for taking this journey with us. There were many different twists, turns, roadblocks, and hazardous conditions. Thank you for your patience and trust. We've made it, we've arrived. To God be the glory. To Alana, Aku, Tyler, Malcolm, Langston, Maya, Kaleo, and Will. As we said before, based on all that you've achieved to date, we are sure that this will just be one of many events where you'll be recognized and celebrated. Continue to let your light shine brightly so that you can pave the way for others. To my co-chair, Mother Kimberly Moses, all I can do is say thank you. Anything more than that would cause me to shed tears. Thank you to our Jack and Jill Pittsburgh chapter community. Thank you for your support.